Această emisiune este sponsorizată de Centrul de Carte Străină Sitka.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you are as excited as I am to embark on this incredible learning journey together. My name is Andreea Moldoveanu, and I'm absolutely happy to be your teacher this session. I'm a teacher of English at secondary school number 40, and I have been teaching English for more than 12 years. With a passion for education and a commitment to your success, I'm here to support and inspire you every step of the way. Get ready for our lessons and thought-provoking discussions. Buckle up, because the adventure starts now. Now, I will introduce Evelyn and Matei. Hello again. How are you?
Very good.
How was your day at school, Evelyn?
It was amazing because I think everyone was very nice today. There wasn't any problems with my colleagues, and teachers were very nice also. So overall, it was good.
Matei, what about you? How was your day at school?
It was really nice. Nothing bad to complain about.
Our lesson is entitled Environment. So today we will talk about environment and how to protect the environment. So, by the end of the lesson, you will have reviewed conditional forms, so a little bit grammar, and reviewed useful phrasal verbs related to the environment, and of course we will have discussed problems and solutions for environmental issues. I have here a quotation. I thought I couldn't make a difference because I was small. This was said by Greta Thunberg. Evelyn, do you know who she is and how she made a difference?
I don't really know who she is, but I saw her discussion with one of the parliament members, and I don't really know how she made a difference, but I want to find out this lesson.
Greta Thunberg is a Swedish environmental activist known for challenging world leaders to take immediate action for climate change mitigation. So she is a well-known person and a well-prepared person to change the world. Matei, do you think it is difficult for young people to make a difference in the world?
I really do, because everyone thinks that if you're young, you have childish opinion, and they often do not want to hear your opinion.
Evelyn, what do you think?
I think Matei is right. Many adults think that young people can't make a difference because they're childish and have no good opinion and good method to do a change in the world, a difference. And I think it's not difficult for young people to make a difference in the world, because if they contribute to different things, I think they can make a small difference, and that is enough, because there are many people, and if everyone does a little thing, it's gonna make a huge difference.
Interesting opinion. So let's discuss these problems below. Matei, which environmental problems do the pictures show?
I think the pictures are trying to communicate that global warming is a real problem.
What does the first picture show?
The first picture shows some trees that are cut into pieces and placed together on the side of the road.
And how do you call this type of problem?
The cutting of the forest.
Deforestation is called. Okay.
Deforestation.
Evelyn, can you please compare the problems, where there are a lot of problems, of course, but I wanted to compare the first picture with the second one, the one with deforestation and the one with ice melting, because the polar bear has this problem.
Deforestation, it's basically how people are cutting the woods, and there's not going to be trees left on our planet for us to receive oxygen and to live a happy life on our planet. And the second one, with the ice melting problem, the polar bears do not have a home anymore because their natural habitat has been taken away by the global warming, and they basically do not have any home left, and many die because they do not have food, and they can be adapted to the weather anymore.
Matei, can you please compare the last two pictures?
So the first picture is with the desert, I think. And the last one is also a place where there are a lot of trashy things and things that people have thrown.
Evelyn, how many more environmental problems can you think of?
I can think of an environmental problem, the fact that people do not plant trees anymore, and there are a lot of there are not many trees left, and people do not care about nature anymore. They throw trash everywhere, and just like the last picture, all of the trash goes into oceans and seas, and that kills a lot of animals.
Matei, which problems affect your country or your local community?
I think the most, basically, the deforesting is the most dangerous in my country, in Romania, or maybe the throwing of trashy things.
We talked about environmental problems, so we said deforestation. Evelyn, ice melting, right?
Yes.
Global warming. And floods. Do you know the meanings, right?
Yes.
So let's focus on vocabulary. Matei, pay attention to these statements. You do not have to read them. I will read them for you. And after that, we have to fill in the boxes with the correct phrasal verbs. So, as you can see, we have here the word chop down. That means to cut through something to make it fall down. When you chop a tree, you chop it down. I wrote also an example. They have chopped all of the trees down. Cut down on means to reduce the size and the amount or number of something. For example, we need to cut down on our use of plastic bags. Die out means to become more and more rare and then disappear completely. For example, many animals will die out if we don't act soon. Another list of phrasal verbs, we have dispose of, means to get rid of something, especially by throwing it away. For example, it is a real challenge to dispose of all of our rubbish. Dry up. So if a river or lake dries up, the water in it disappears. So, an example, in a drought, all of the lakes and rivers dry up. Another example, fight for, to try hard to support or achieve something you want or think is right. Greta Thunberg fights for environmental causes. Freeze over, to become covered in ice. Example, parts of the Arctic have stopped freezing over due to the global warming. Knock down, to destroy or demolish something. For example, we could create more green spaces in urban environments if we were to knock down disused buildings. Run out of, to use something completely so that nothing is left. For example, we will eventually run out of fossil fuels. Stand up for, to defend or support a particular idea or a person who is being criticized or attacked. For example, many young people stand up for animal rights. Take part in, to be actively involved in something with other people. For example, people all over the world have taken part in environmental protests. Wipe out, to destroy something completely or cause something to be completely lost. For example, we must avoid wiping endangered animals out completely. And here is the exercise. So focus on vocabulary. We have to read the statements and to complete with the correct form of the phrasal verbs in the boxes to fill the gaps. Have a short look, Matei, and let's try completing. We have here an example. If logging companies chop down rainforests, some native species will be wiped out.
Many lakes could dry up if global warming causes more droughts. A lot of animals, insects, and plants species wouldn't have died out if we had acted sooner. If we don't stand up for a change, we will eventually take part in time to reverse global warming. If we all dispose of a protest, the government would probably change its environmental policy.
Isn't it take part in?
If we all take part in a protest, of course, it could be the correct answer in this case. So we also go with take part in, but we will check at the end of the exercise, Evelyn. Wait a second, okay?
If some parts of the Arctic had stayed freeze over all year round, polar bears wouldn't be struggling to survive now. If we run out of waste and find better ways to cut down on it, this helps the environment.
Evelyn,
If we
which one is here? Run out of or cut down on?
run out of,
Mm-hmm.
if we run out of waste and find better ways to cut down it, this helps the environment.
Evelyn, have a look at these phrasal verbs and tell me if Matei has done them correctly.
So B. Many lakes could dry up if global warming caused more droughts.
This is correct.
C. A lot of animal, insect, and plant species wouldn't have died out if we had acted sooner. This is correct.
Yes, of course.
If we don't stand up for change, we'll eventually run out of time
Yes.
to reverse global warming.
Run out of time. So, Matei, do not worry because we are in a team here and we have to collaborate, of course. And if you manage to do a mistake, do not worry because Evelyn will repair with me. So, run out of time.
E.
And E.
If we all take part in a protest, the government will probably change its environmental policy.
So this is correct. And F, Evelyn?
F. If some parts of the Arctic had stayed frozen over all year around, so it's not freeze over, it's frozen over all
Okay.
year around, polar bears wouldn't be struggling to survive now.
And the last one, pay attention, Evelyn, because you used twice run out of. So what it goes here, Matei?
If we take part in waste and find better ways to actually
Okay. So that was the mistake. So pay attention. Phrasal verbs are very hard to use in English and they have a lot of uses. So do not worry. Another exercise focus on grammar and which of the statements B and G in exercise 2 suggests the speaker thinks the situation is likely. I wrote here examples, so it's A. So which of the statements from B and G from the previous exercise suggests the speaker thinks the situation is less likely, Evelyn?
Less likely we have, I think, B.
Yes. Too late to change, Evelyn.
Too late to change, I think it's A.
A fact, Evelyn.
A fact is
Matei,
C.
do you know? A fact?
I think maybe the last one.
The last one, so it's G. Now, let's look at the example in the box and underline the if clause in statement C to G from exercise 2. Let's go back and just underline, Evelyn, the if clause. Okay, so the statements that start with if. I have here an example, so many lakes could dry up if global warming caused more droughts. So as you can see, after if we use simple past, so this is the if clause, and in the main sentence we use could or would plus infinitive. Evelyn, just tell me which one is the if clause.
So the if clause is G if we take part in waste
And
and
find better ways.
to cut down.
But let's start
On
from
it.
the beginning, Evelyn, from the beginning, yes?
Okay.
From C,
So B.
because B was my example. Okay, so from C.
Okay. A lot of animal, insect, and plant species wouldn't have died out if we had acted sooner. D. If we don't stand up, that's the if clause.
I will circle because I do not have enough space to underline.
We will eventually run out of time to reverse global warming.
So let's revise the conditional type and the meaning. So zero conditional, the meaning is a fact, and we form it with if plus present simple or can. We have here an example. If we cut down on waste and find better ways to dispose of it, this helps the environment. The first conditional, the meaning is likely. So we form with if plus present simple and will or may, might or could. And I wrote here some examples. So if logging companies chop down rainforests, some native species will be wiped out. The second conditional, less likely. So we form with if plus past simple, and in the main clause we put would or might or could. Here an example, many lakes could dry up if global warming caused more droughts. And the third conditional, and the hardest for some students, the meaning is too late to change. So we form if plus past perfect, and in the main clause we have would have or might have or could have plus past participle. An example, a lot of animal, insect and plant species wouldn't have died out if we had acted sooner. So in this case, it's too late to change the situation. Of course, we have mixed second and third conditional. That is a situation that is too late to change, but with the present result, and we form with if plus past perfect, would or might or could. An example is if some parts of the Arctic had stayed frozen over all year round, polar bears wouldn't be struggling to survive now. So let's practice. Mate, let's complete the sentences with your own ideas, and after that discuss your answers with Evelyn, and try to use some of the phrasal verbs from exercise 2 if you remember, of course.
We hadn't invented cars, we wouldn't have wiped out so many endangered species. B, if I was responsible for the environmental laws, in my town / city, I would.
I would change
have-
everything.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Evelyn, go on.
The temperature became much hotter / colder in my country. People would die out deep. People would have to dispose of if fossil fuels run out. And if people cut down on trees, we wouldn't have enough oxygen.
Of course. Let's make a summary, Matei, of this lesson. Brainstorm your ideas about what you could do to address your chosen environmental problems.
Basically, the lesson was about how to prevent and how to be greater about the global warming and stuff like this. And if I was in charge of these things, I would probably want people to be more together, and I would try to make them understand that it is a real problem.
So this is the end of our lesson, Evelyn and Matei. Thank you for being here. Hope you liked this lesson and have a nice holiday. Do not forget to love your family, your friends, to protect the environment, and of course to respect the nature, because it is very important. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Goodbye.